What is up, all my kaiju friends, kaiju fans? This is Phil, the Kaiju King. It is Wednesday, January 6th, and I thought I'd get up before I go to work today. I'm back on second shift, and I would do this video. It is for my top 5 X Plus figures of the year. It was a great year from X Plus, I must say. Great year. Good fun, great collecting year. Enjoyed it very much. Enjoy everyone in the X Plus group, all my great friends there. Love everybody. We always have good conversations there. But kind of a hard list to come up with, and my list might surprise people. So it's a good list. I like my list, but it might surprise people a little bit, but that's okay. Everybody has their own choice and decision and whatever, so nothing wrong with that. Let's start off with number 5, my number 5 X Plus figure of the year that I acquired, and let's do that right now. All right, everybody, number 5 on my list for X Plus figures of the year, or X Plus, top 5 X Plus figures. By the way, before I get started, my number 1 is my X Plus figure of the year for this year. This is number 5, the 25 centimeter Gamera 1999 battle damage version. The Rick edition, of course, comes with an interchangeable right hand, which depicts the end scene of the movie, and then his original right hand situation is, of course, his hand cut off like in the film when he blew his hand off with his own fire to free himself so he could battle and defeat Iris. It's a great figure. Of course, it also comes with the little gelatinous girl that he pulled out of Iris and saved her, in my opinion, because I think Iris was consuming her in the film and using her revenge to attack Gamera. But this is a great figure. If anyone has it, they can attest to how cool it is, how detailed it is. Wonderful rendition of Gamera 1999. And this, I will say that this design of Gamera is probably my favorite design. I'm guessing it's the most fierce looking, with that big exaggerated fin on top of his head there, little fins and stuff, and its roaring mouth mode also makes it very intimidating looking. Almost like he's roaring in victory. Great figure. Of course, we got the impalement on the back of the shell there. It goes through his abdomen here and through the back of his shell, just like in that film, Gamera 3. So it's a great figure. Rick or standard, either way, you can't go wrong. I think Rick was the good decision on this figure because of what they gave you. So, but this is a great figure and deserves to be in anyone's Gamera collection for sure. This is the number 5 on my X Plus, top 5 X Plus of the year. The 25 centimeter Gamera battle damaged version. Now let's move on to number 4 on my list. Let's do that right now. Number 4. Can it be 2 turtles in a row? Yes, it is. Number 4 on my top 5 X Plus figures of the year is the favorite Sculptor's Line 30 centimeter Gamera 1965. This is the Rick, which is a light up eyes. I went Rick on this one. Pretty cool with the light up eyes. I remember when I got it, I put out a video of his eyes lighting up and put in his roar. So it's a pretty cool figure, very detailed. For me, the back of the shell is just amazingly detailed, to the suit in the film, and the capture of that detail on that shell, and then also just the overall body. If you see it, it's amazing, the square shaped scaling on his belly area. the wrinkles on the legs and on the legs for the suit, and nice long skinny legs just like the original Gamera suit had. A nice long slender tail. I mean, this figure is very impressive. When I got it, I was glad I got it. He is, I mean, I know people complain about his size. He is small for a 30 centimeter figure, but nonetheless, great capture of the original Gamera. Very nicely done X Plus on this guy. I mean, the details are amazing. The shell, it is very pointy, by the way. So when you pick it up, be careful. It will poke you, but it's very nice. The shell, the definition of the scaling on his abdomen, the square scaling, just very impressive. How they captured this Gamera, this version of Gamera in this figure. I mean, this was an instant order for me when it came out too. As soon as it was up, I ordered it. I didn't waste or hesitate at all, so, and I'm glad I didn't. I didn't have a 65 Gamera in my collection, so that was another reason why I didn't hesitate. So it's a great figure of Gamera here. This is the number 4 in my top 5 X Plus figures of the year. The favorite sculptors line, Gamera 1965. Alright, let's move on to number 3 in my collection of my top 5 X Plus figures of the year. Let's do that right now. Oh yeah, here comes the controversy. I can hear it now. Number 3 in my top 5 X Plus figures of the year is the Yuji Sakai 30 centimeter Godzilla 1984. It is a great figure. In my opinion, this figure is going to win figure of the year in the X Plus group, because this is a much more owned figure than my personal figure of the year. So I feel like this guy will win figure of the year, but I know that people are going to say, what's 2? If you know me, you know what 2 is. So, but yeah, this is a great figure. My favorite thing of this figure is the blue tinge on the dorsal plates. This is a standard also. It's not the light up. The Rick was a light up. And it looks very impressive though, the light up, but I went standard. It's a great figure. Look, I mean, the coloring on those dorsal plates, they did a good job. Everything from his tail sculpting up through his top of his head, the tree bark skin, very reminiscent. He's very dark in color compared to some of our other Godzillas, but I think it just captures his nighttime look in the film. But it's just a very good capture of the 84. This surpasses the original 84 in about every way, even though I'll never get rid of my original 84. I love it. So, but this was really an impressive release from Sakai. I'm wondering what the next Sakai will be. I don't think they've announced another Sakai yet, to my knowledge. Very impressive figure here. They knocked it out of the park with the 1984 Godzilla with this thing. So nicely well done. Every little detail is there. The way he's got his hands positioned. I mean, in that movie, for me, it seemed like he always had one hand up higher than the other like this. It's just all the little things they do, X Plus, it's why we collect them, in my opinion. But this is number 3 on my top 5 X Plus figures of 2020. The Yuji Sakai 30 centimeter Godzilla 1984. Alright, let's move on to my number 2 on my top 5 X Plus figures of 2020. Let's do that now. You already know, guys. I told you, if you know me. Kong fan here from the beginning. Kong started it all for me. So my number 2 figure of the year in my X Plus collection for 2020 is the Star Ace X Plus 30 centimeter Kong Skull Island version 2. This is the special deluxe edition that comes with this really cool base. It's pretty cool. got the nice propeller in his hand there with the chain, like in the film. But this is a fantastic freaking figure. It is very impressive, the sculpting of his fur all over his body. Of course, the wide open mouth roaring mode there. Arms spread out like in attack mode. That propeller in his right hand ready to attack the Ramarak, the skull crawler. So it's just from head to toe, they captured Kong very, very well, in my opinion. And everybody knows I am a Kong guy, I always have been. And that's why I put him in front of the Sakai, to be honest. They're both great figures. I mean, but this thing here is fantastic. If you don't have a Kong figure, this is the one to get. I like the version 1 as well. I like them both. I love them both. But a lot of people preferred this one when it got announced because of his pose and his open mouth roaring. I think a lot of people prefer Kong like that. Also, there's not a lot of Kong figures out there, to be honest. I mean, I have a whole wall of them back there, but those are all customs from Mark Sang Yang. There's not a plethora of detailed Kong figures out there. There's just not. X Plus is, we've been fortunate enough that they were able to do these legendary Kongs, you know, and hopefully this year we'll get some Kong from the new movie Godzilla vs. Kong. So, but this guy is definitely impressive from head to toe. I love this figure. So glad I got it, and he's just the sight to behold in hand for sure. Very impressive figure. Big figure too. Even not on the base, he's very tall. So nice figure. But this is number 2 on my top 5 X Plus figures from 2020. The Star Ace Kong Skull Island version 2. Alright, we're moving on to number 1, which is my X Plus figure of the year. Y'all probably already know I've been preaching about this thing since I got it. Let's bring him up now. Yeah. You know it, everybody. I've been preaching for him ever since I got it. He blew my mind. He was stuck in shipping purgatory with Hobby Search and Leslie Chambers. And AJ Russo convinced me that if you would ever spend extra on a shipment of a figure with this pandemic, this was the one. And well, I ain't gonna lie, it was very expensive to ship this figure. It was plus about $200, I think, if I remember right. But I was so glad I did it in the end. This is my number 1 acquisition for X Plus for 2020, and it is my X Plus figure of the year, the X Plus Gigantic Series Mechagodzilla 1974. This is the standard edition. I think the Rick had the light up eyes and the light up chest laser. But this thing is perfection head to toe. It blew me away. The paint app is very impressive on it. He shot one of his missiles off here and killed something in my house, I guess, because I don't know. I haven't been able to find this missile yet. I think it's in my diorama room. But when I was taking pictures when I first got it, I just got to look for it. But hopefully I find that missile tip there. But I noticed that, and I'm like, he's been shooting at something. He's so evil, Mechagodzilla. You're so evil, Mechagodzilla. My God. But this thing is just great. It's absolute perfection. I know Leslie Chambers and John Ruffin, AJ Russo. This thing is just friggin' perfect. And it's great to see a non-Godzilla gigantic. Gives me great anticipation for that much talked ballyhooed gigantic Gigan if that happens. I do hope that still happens, because that's an insta buy for me. I'm pretty sure William Fett from the Godzilla files, I know he don't collect gigantics, but I have a feeling if they bring out a gigantic Gigan, he's a big Gigan fan, so that might be his first venture into the gigantics, because if they do that and they do it right, it's going to be off the chart. But we're seeing a gigantic that's not a Godzilla, so I mean, off the top of my head, Hedra would be an automatic gigantic for me. It wouldn't be that hard for him to do Hedra. He don't have a lot of pointy areas or nothing, so I think that would be cool, gigantic Hedra. I don't think they can do everything gigantic. I mean, it's just because of the size issues and stuff. I mean, of course, a Ghidorah, that would be just freaking insane. I mean, that thing would be $1,000 probably, but they can do some. Like Mechagodzilla was a good pick. It's pretty basic, you know, in design and stuff. So, and Hedra would be a good one. It's awesome. I know this year, the one gigantic so far announced is the another 54. I'm still mulling on that one. I want to see the painted pictures and stuff and what the Rick is, but I've already got the Sakai gigantic 54, so I'm still mulling that out as far as getting it or not. But this guy is absolute perfection. Anyone in the group, anyone that owns it can attest to this. My number one X Plus acquisition of 2020, the gigantic series Mechagodzilla 1974, and hence he is my X Plus figure of the year. My list is probably a lot different than a lot of people's, but that was my list, my top 5 X Plus figures for 2020. Let's see what 2021 brings. All right, everybody, I'll bring the camera closer and show off these guys real quick. I want to thank everyone that always tunes into my channel. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Stay safe, be good. I love all my subscribers. I love anyone that pays attention to my channel. I appreciate everyone for that. This is Phil the Kaiju King from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati, and I'll talk to y'all again real soon.